Hello friend, in this video we will going to see about the distance protection. See, to protect the electrical system, we give different types of protection in the system, and one of the major protection we give in the transmission line is the distance protection. You can see in this relay, this is the distance type of relay. There is zone 1, there is written zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. There is the carrier receive carrier added protection. So in this video we will going to see all about the distance protection. So before going in the deep, let us first see what is the basic of the distance protection. Distance protection is nothing but the impedance protection, impedance type protection. In any electrical system, in any substation, if you go, you will see the CT and the PT connected to it. Let's say if this is the bus, this is the breaker, then there will be the CT and there will be the PT connected. So impedance protection is nothing but the voltage by current. This is the impedance. So you can see in this diagram, this is the line. This is the P and Q are one transmission line. Q and R are the another transmission line. So we give we give the distance, we give the different zones in the protection. So what is this zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3? See, if this is the full transmission line P and Q, so we divide the transmission line in different zones to protect the system. Zone 1 we consider about 80% of the total transmission line impedance. So why we consider 80% not 100%? Because due to the change in the temperature, due to the change in the climate, the span or the sag of the lines are changes. So due to this, the impedance might be changed in the transmission lines. And due to this, if fault happen, maybe in zone 1, the relay may sense the fault in the zone 2. So this will lead to mal-operation of the relay. So to avoid this, we give 80% of the protection in zone 1, 80% of the transmission line protection in the zone 1. In zone 2, we cover all 100% plus additional 20% we give in zone 2. In zone 3, we cover 100% plus 100% of the adjacent line plus 20%. So in zone 3, we cover this. So we give different zones in the protection of the transmission lines. So let us now see what is how these different zones operate. See, you can see in this diagram, different zones are given in the transmission line. See, we give different zones, we give different impedance, we give different zones in the transmission line, and if we not divide the different zones based on the time, then relay will not operate in the fruitful manner. So let us consider zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Let us suppose the zone 1 we give the impedance of 1 ohm, zone 2 we give the impedance of 2 ohm, and zone 3 we give the impedance of 3 ohm. Time, see, which will be the fastest mode of operation, which zone will trip instantaneously when the fault will occur? Obviously the zone 1. So we give 0 second to zone 1, we give 350 millisecond to zone 2, then zone 3 will trip, so we give 700 millisecond to zone 3. In the coming 5 minutes, we will see how the tripping operation will happen. We will consider the cases and we will see all the methodology. So let us understand this. So let us say that the fault will happen and relay will sense the impedance less than 1 ohm. So which zone will trip? See, if the relay will sense the impedance less than 1 ohm, all the zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3, all the zones will pick up. But all the zones will pick up, but the relay will see the timing of all the zones. The zone 1, the the zone 1 lines, the zone 1 distance will trip immediately when the fault will occur in 0 second. If zone 1 will fail to trip, then zone 2 will wait for 350 millisecond and will trip and will give trip command to the breaker. If zone 2 also fail to trip, then zone 3 will wait for 700 millisecond and will give trip command to the breaker. So now you understand what is the meaning of zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. Now let us see how this, when the fault will happen, how the relay will give trip command and how the breaker will trip. So let us see the case. Let us see the case 1, first case. Case 1. Let us see the case 1. So this is the breaker. See, this is zone 1. From there to there, zone 1. There to there, zone 2. See, this is zone 1 and this is zone 2. Guys, if fault will have case 1, if the fault is happen in zone 1, if fault is happen in zone 1, relay will immediately sense the fault and give trip command to this breaker and this breaker. The system will be protected in 0 second if the fault will happen in zone 1. If fault will happen in zone 1, the system will be protected in 0 second. This is the case 1. Now let's see case 2. The case 2 is fault is happen in is there. Fault happen there. Now the fault happen there. See guys, understand very carefully. Now the fault happen in within the transmission line of P and Q. Within the transmission line of P and Q. This is P and Q. But the fault happen beyond zone 1 of the sending end breaker. See, from P1 this fault come under zone 2, but from Q side, from the receiving side, the fault is in zone 1. See, this is zone 1. This is zone 1 for the receiving end relay. See, if this is receiving end relay, see guys, if this is receiving end relay, this is, see, if this is receiving end relay, then this is zone 1 fault, zone 1 from the receiving end. So if the fault happen here, if the fault happen here, if the fault happen here, then the receiving end relay, that is Q, that receiving end relay will sense the fault in 0 second and will immediately give trip command to this breaker. Immediately give trip command to this breaker, and this breaker, this relay will give one carrier signal to zone 1 relay, to sending end relay. This relay will give carrier signal to sending end relay. This carrier signal is sent from the OPGW network or fiber optic cable. So when the sending end relay, that is P, will receive the carrier signal, this relay, the sending end relay, will not wait for zone 2 time and will immediately trip when the fault occur even in zone 2 of the sending end breaker. Once again I repeat, if the fault happen there, that is zone 2 of the sending end relay, but within the span of the transmission line, that is P and Q, this fault is zone 1 fault to the from the receiving side. So the receiving side breaker will trip immediately, and the receiving side relay will give carrier signal to the sending end relay from the FOP network, from the OPGW network. When the sending end relay will receive the carrier signal from the receiving end relay, the sending end relay will not wait for zone 2 time but will trip immediately. So the system is protected in the 0 second even the fault occur in the zone 2 of the sending end relay. So I hope you can understand what is the process, what is the meaning of carrier signal. This type of protection is also called PUTT, that is permissive underreach transfer trip. Now let us understand the case 3. Suppose the fault happen there. See, this is zone 1, this is zone 2, and this will be zone 3. Now if the fault happen here, if the fault happen there, so what will happen if the fault happen in this transmission line? This is P, this is Q, and this is R. So this fault is zone 2 from the sending end relay. From this relay, this fault come under zone 2. This fault come under zone 1 from, if we consider this Q relay. If we consider the Q end breaker, then this fault will come under zone 1. So this breaker will trip immediately, and now this relay will not send carrier signal to sending end relay because this fault is not occur in the span of P and Q, but it occur away from the Q. This fault occur away from the Q, that is between Q and R. So this relay will wait for zone 2. If this relay will not trip, if this breaker will not trip, then this breaker will trip. This breaker will not trip in 0 millisecond, but it will wait for their time, that is zone 2 time. So I hope you understand all the 3 cases when the fault occur between P and Q. Fault occur between P and Q but in zone 2 from the sending end relay, and the fault occur away from P and Q, that is between Q and R. So this is all the 3 types of fault, that is all the 3 cases we discuss in the distance protection. I hope you can clear what is the meaning of the distance protection, how the distance protection work in the transmission line. If you have any problem, you can ask in the comment section.